There are about 100 ragas in circulation, 80 to 100 that are widely performed, very well known ragas, what are called prachalit ragas. And there are many more that are rare, that are performed by select schools and select musicians even, and there are many more that are obsolete, lupta ragas. That is, they have disappeared from practice. Now with so many ragas, and given the general propensity towards classification that Sanskrit traditions of intellectual inquiry have, ragas have also been classified. The medieval texts onwards, even earlier, ragas are classified along various lines. Now, raga is a complex thing, right? It is characterized by the presence or absence of swaras. That's one thing about it. There are many other things about it, such as the melodic personality of it, the phrases that are typical in the raga, the way it moves, and so on, even the ornament. So, we can classify ragas along these various parameters. As it happens, there are three well-known systems of classification in Hindustani music. These are the Mela or Thaat Paddhati or system. Then we have the Raganga Paddhati, the Raga Ragini Paddhati. Of these, Raga Ragini Paddhati is of historical interest merely, plus there are some other aspects that make it important to us even today. But Raga Ragini Paddhati as a classification system is quite obsolete, nobody uses it. But the other two, Mela Paddhati and Raganga Paddhati. Paddhati means system. So the Mela or Thaat system or the Raganga system, these are two prevalent systems of classifying ragas. Now, why do we need to classify ragas? It's just to get a better sense of the kind of variety of ragas that we have. Even to understand a raga, you need to understand what it shares with other ragas and how it differs from ragas that might otherwise maybe share melodic material with it and so on. So classification generally is a way of, there is intellectual gain in it, because you do get some clarity about what we are talking about. And so also with ragas. But we will see that ragas are particularly difficult to classify. So we will now first talk about the Mela Paddhati. Mela in Sanskrit and in Hindi, it means an assembly, a meeting, and as a category, as a musical category, it is an assembly of swaras. It is just a set of swaras come together. The definition of Mela that is found in Raga Vibodha, it's a text of the 17th century. It's a very important text written by one Somanatha. This is a very clear definition of Mela as a meeting of swaras, a place where swaras are together, a set of swaras. Milanti vargi bhavanti raga yatra iti tad ashrayaha swara samsthana vishesha Mela. That is where ragas meet or are classified. That is called a Mela. This is swara samsthana, where swaras are together, samsthana, in the same place. In fact, samsthana is a synonym for Mela in many of the texts, North Indian texts especially, and in contemporary usage, Mela is also called Thaat. So Mela then is a scale. It is a certain combination of the 7 swaras arranged in descending order. And ragas that use some or all of those swaras are classified under that mela. And what happens is that the raga, which is the most popular among those that are classified under a particular mela, that raga gives its name to the mela itself. The important thing to remember is mela is not raga. It is just a set of 7 swaras. It has no ranjakatva. As we have another definition, mela swara samuho. It's just swara samuha. It's just a group of swaras. It doesn't have ranjakatva. And it's only a set of notes in the ascending order. You don't have an avarohana also for a mela, because it's just a set of notes. Here we have Venkatamakhin in Chaturdandi Prakashika, another landmark treatise, and he says Swararohanameva Rupam Yasham Te Mela. That is, mela, their form is only of swaras in Arohana. So this is the idea of mela as a classification system. That is, ragas are classified based on the swaras that comprise them. So all ragas that have Shuddha swaras would be classified together, whereas all ragas that would have Shuddha swaras but the ma is Tibra, right? Rega dhani are Shuddha but ma is Tibra, then those ragas would be classified together. And as I said, each category, each class would go by the name of the most popular raga that is classified under that mela. This is really the idea with which the mela as a category of classification started. And the first available treatise to talk about mela as a system of classification is the Swara Mela Kalanidhi of Ramamatya, who lived in the Vijayanagara Empire. He was with the Vijayanagara court. So you have, this is a landmark treatise really, especially for South Indian musics. So after after Ramamatya's Swara Mela Kalanidhi, the idea of mela spread, and then we have Lakshana Granthakaras from all around the country suggesting, putting forth their own mela system of classification, coming up with different numbers of melas. Some have suggested that there are 12, others have said that there are 19, maybe 23. It all depends on the kind of ragas that they were trying to account for. So based on that, and based on the period and the time and the place, number of melas were different. So while mela is a medieval idea really and is found in many texts, contemporary Hindustani music adopted the mela system as set forth by Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkhande in the 20th century, in the early 20th century. We will hear this name many times during this course because his work has impacted and has been definitive in the evolution, in a particularly difficult period of transition of Hindustani music in the 20th century. Now Bhatkhande had this project of codifying Hindustani music as really, because while the performance aspect of it is vibrant, there was much wanting by way of standardization and codification. So that is what he set out to do, and he did it. He perused the medieval texts, even ancient texts, to see how he can use those categories to bring about order in the practice of Hindustani music at that time. He also travelled south. He travelled to the south to see how Carnatic music is systematized, how standardization is achieved. By standardization, what I mean is that this music primarily exists as a performance tradition, or many performance traditions, we should say, and especially in North Indian music, because this music was practiced by court musicians, and court musicians of different courts had their own their own performance practices and their own conceptions of idea, their own conceptions of raga and alap and so on. There was considerable disparity in these various traditions, and if we had to talk of Hindustani music as one system, then some amount of standardization had to be brought in, and that is what Bhatkhande sought to do. And he came upon the 72 Mela Karta, the 72 Mela system of in Carnatic music that was propounded by Venkatamakhin in his Chaturdandi Prakashika. In fact, Bhatkhande acquired a copy of the Chaturdandi Prakashika. Which is a 17th century text. Chaturdandi Prakashika. And so, in Carnatic music, even today, the system of Mela that is used is one that sets forth 72 Mela, 72 such combinations of swaras under which ragas can be classified. Now, inspired by this, Bhatkhande he worked out that given the swara material that we have in Hindustani music and the nomenclature, really, the nomenclature of the swaras. Because there are two things about Mela. First is that it should include all the swaras in the aroha, and it should be a straight scale. It shouldn't be zigzag. It can't be saga, rima and all that. It has to be sari, gama, padhani. It's a particular combination of sari, gama, padhani in that order, and no two varieties of the same swara can be there in a single mela. So every mela will have one and only one variety of every note, besides sa and pa, of course. So given that, and given the way ragas, given the way swaras are named and organized in Hindustani music, 32 combinations or 32 melas are possible. I'll quickly show how. So you have sa, re komal, this is a notation for re komal, and you have re shuddha. Then you have ga komal, ga shuddha. You have ma shuddha and ma tivra. Then you have pa, then you have dha komal, dha shuddha. Then ni komal, ni shuddha. So these are the 12 swarasthanas, right? 12 swaras in Hindustani music. Now, if you need a combination of sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, how many are possible? Of course, you can't have sa, ga, re, ma, pa, dha, pa, ni, dha, sa. It has to be in this order, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, derived. So the way the 72 melas were derived by Venkatamakhin, Bhatkhande basically followed that in order to show how 32 melas are possible for us. And incidentally, those of you who are interested to see how the 72 melas were generated by Venkatamakhin, you may please visit the link that is given below in the description box. So he followed how Venkatamakhin derived the 72 melas, and it's basically he kept the re and ga constant, right? With one combination of re ga, how many combinations of dhani are possible? So we let us take sa, ma and pa as constant for the time being. So ma we are taking it as Shuddha Madhyam. Now how many combinations of rega are there? Let us take any one combination of rega. Let us say Komal Re, Komal Gandhar. So how many combinations with dha ni are possible? So rega can combine with dha Komal, ni Komal. It can combine with dha Shuddha, ni Komal. Then it can combine with dha Komal, ni Shuddha, and then it can combine with dha Shuddha, ni Shuddha, right? So 4 combinations are possible for one combination of rega. Similarly, there are 4 combinations of rega possible. So in all, how many combinations of rega dhani are possible? That is 4 into 4, you have 16. 16 possible combinations of rega dhani, and that is with just one ma, that is, let's say, Shuddha Madhyam. And you will have a similar 16 for 16 combinations possible with Tibra ma. So in all you have 32 combinations of Saregama Padhani that are possible, and therefore 32 melas are possible mathematically. So to those of you who are intrigued, how is it that 72 melas were possible for Venkatamakhin and only 32 were possible for Bhatkhande, it is really just a matter of Swara nomenclature. And if you really visit the link that I suggested, so Bhatkhande knew the 72 mela of Carnatic music. He also computed 32 possible melas for Hindustani music. But intriguingly, he didn't put forth a theory of 32 melas. He only listed 10 combinations from among the 32 as the melas or thats of Hindustani music, and he said that these are enough, these 10 are enough to account for or to classify all the known ragas at that time. All the ragas that were prevalent at that time could be classified under these 10 melas or thats. And he also said that if somebody wants to have more thats, that's also fine. Now this is utterly intriguing, that when you set out to offer a classification theory, you know what is possible mathematically, but you just step back and say 10 are enough. The 10 thats that he proposed were Bhairav, Todi, Asavri, Bilawal, Marwa, Purvi, Kalyan, Khamaj, Kafi and Bhairavi. He also factored in the Samay Pranali, the Raga time association, and he wanted to make sure that there are enough thats for every prahar or every part of the day or night. So there are many ragas that are that cannot be unproblematically classified under one of these 10 thats. So the raga may have a note that is not the note of the Mela, and yet it's just classified under it as an exception. The Ahir Bhairav, for instance, Ahir Bhairav is like this: sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da ga ma re sa. So the notes it uses are sa re ga ma pa da ni. These are the notes, but it is classified under Bhairav. And there is a reason for that, which we will see in the next video, because it draws from the other classification system, the Raganga Paddhati. Bhairav, under which Ahir Bhairav is classified, goes sa re ga ma pa dha ni dha pa. So both the dha and ni are different. Ahir Bhairav has a Shuddha dha and a Komal ni, whereas Bhairav has a Komal dha and Shuddha ni. And yet Ahir Bhairav is classified under Bhairav. And the world of Hindustani music is quite okay with this anomaly. You see, because there is a fundamental problem with the Thaat system of classification when it comes to ragas. So even if it were complete, even if we acknowledged 32 Thats, 32 possible combinations, there will still be ragas that are left out, because there are many ragas that use both varieties of a same note, right? That is one clear instance. And more importantly, there are many ragas that are classifiable under more than one mela. Now how do we handle this situation? So let us take the raga Bhupali or Bhoop, right? It is a very, very standard basic raga in the sense everybody knows it. Everybody who has an introduction to the world of Hindustani music would know rag Bhoop. Even that, it will be difficult to classify. There are some issues with classifying it under the male system. So Bhoop, as you know, has these swaras sa, ri, ga, pa, dha, sa. Sa, ri, ga, pa, dha, all Shuddha swaras. So it has all Shuddha swaras, but it doesn't have ma and ni, right? It doesn't have madhyam or nishad. It drops it. It's an Audava raga. It has only 5 swaras in the aroha and avroha. So how can you classify this raga, rag Bhoop? So as it turns out, there are 4 possibilities depending on the ma and the ni, because sarigapa, riga, pa, dha, riga, dha are there in the raga and they are Shuddha. So the male also has to have riga, dha, Shuddha. Besides, of course, sa and pa are anyway there. So with riga, dha, Shuddha, there are 4 possibilities. You have sarigama, padhani, all Shuddha swaras, or you have sarigama, padha, Shuddha swara, ni komal. It doesn't matter what note ni, what variety ni is, right? Because ni is not there in Bhoop. So Bhoop can still be classified under this mela, sarigama, padha, ni, even though ni is komal, because Bhoop doesn't have ni. It doesn't matter. Bhoop can also be classified under sarigama, padha, ni, where ma is tivra, because ri, ga, dha, which are there in Bhoop, are all Shuddha. So that's fine. Again, you can have a combination sarigama, padha, ni, where ma is tivra and ni is komal. So there are 4 possibilities. So where would you classify Bhoop? We would need some fiat. For instance, you may say that the first Thaat, the first male that you have when you derive the 32 Thats, that is where it will be classified or some such thing. But it is not satisfactory, and performance tradition is clear that Bhoop has to be classified under this one. This is the Kalyan Thaat, because as I said again, this goes to the Raganga Paddhati. because Bhoop and Yaman or Kalyan, they have the phraseology, the kind of phrases that occur, and the chalan common. Again, even in the south, Mohanam, which is the equivalent of Bhoop, has a lot of commonality with Kalyani, which is again a counterpart of Kalyan or Yaman. So, performance tradition is very clear that Bhoop has to be classified under Kalyan Thaat, but there is no way that the male Padhati, even if we have 32 melas, there is no way that we can work this feature of the raga into its classification. So, one can say that ragas are simply too chaotic, beautifully chaotic maybe, but chaotic still, to submit to neat mathematical categories like combinations of swaras. What is achieved by the Mela classification? At most what we can say is that if a raga is classified under a particular mela, it has some of the notes of that mela. It might have other notes also, because that is the reality. So, it's marginally helpful at best. Well, this is the problem with the Mela or the Thaat system of classification of ragas. Now, possibly because of these drawbacks of the Mela system, which Bhatkhande, he doesn't talk about them, but he probably intuitively perceived it, and the world of Hindustani music also quite understands this. So, possibly because of this, we are not bothered. The world of performance is not bothered by the incomplete 10 Thaat system. And the Mela system leaves the aesthetics of the raga, the personality of the raga completely out of the picture. And one might seek a raga classification system that heeds the personality of the raga, and this is what the Raganga Paddhati does, which we will look at in the next video.